good? I haven't talked to you since college. It's been a minute.
Since college, man. What, we graduated in 2016, where it's 2020 right now. Holy
I
crap,
know.
man.
Fast forward just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. Holy crap, man. We went from like 21 to 26 really quick.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. About to hit 27 soon enough.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Look
Hey, I
at
was
you.
watching. I was watching your last podcast with is it Michael?
Yeah, with Mikey Mike, he went to Oregon State too.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I call him Michael. Yeah, no, Mike. No, I was in business management club with him or whatever.
Oh, you
Um,
recognize him then?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no shit.
yeah. So, what is this? Is this the second one for you, or you got some other ones lined up?
You know what? It's anybody who comes on. I kind of, when I try to post it online, it tries to tell me which episode it is, and I'm like, aren't you supposed to keep track of that? So, I guess I'm just putting it out and just to get it out there. What's good is
Hmm.
if you're open to this, I'm going to be putting this video on YouTube and then
Yeah, of course.
translating the video from audio on Anchor. You heard of that app?
Yeah, yeah. No, I tried to do podcasting for a little bit myself just to give it a shot. It wasn't really for me, at least the format that I was doing or whatever. But I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to find a platform to be able to take the audio from the video and put it on there. But
And
yeah,
you
I'll keep
use
that in mind
Anchor?
if in case, yeah, in case I ever try to go back into it or something.
Dude, you're
I'll
back
look
into it
Anchor.
right now. What are you talking about? You're on the
Well, this is
podcast.
for you, bro. This is for you. I just want to help you out. I saw you posted. I listened to yours and Mike's, and I was like, yeah, why not reach out to you? And well, you reached out to me. I just commented on your video, and I was like, yeah, I'm
You know
down
what's
for the
so
podcast.
funny is like that video that you saw with me and Mike, it isn't half bad. I mean, if you think about it, we're just barely starting, and I just recorded a video with him, me, and this other guy named Corey, and I have a couple episodes with Corey when he's on the podcast. But the thing is, I lost the file and it got totally corrupted and I couldn't
Shit.
put. Yeah, exactly. It's a lost cause and I feel hella bad. But I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen for our podcast because that's the
Cool. Yeah.
last thing I would want to happen.
Yeah. It sucks covering like the same topics again because the camera wasn't recording or some shit.
Yeah, or some shit like that. It's just technical difficulties. But like, if you think about it, if we were in the same room together, we could just be recording on our phone. It'd just be easy as f. But we can't do that anymore because of COVID and stuff. Am I right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a COVID friendly setup. So just I mean, it's
Dude,
for and on top of that, like anyone can join in any time. You don't have to have somebody go over to wherever you're at. You're in Washington?
yes, I'm in Washington right now. But that's the thing. I'm
Sure.
open to doing things like that. You can come over right now. I mean, you could come over tomorrow or a week from now. I'd be down. But the thing is, a lot of people are just not comfortable with that. And I get that. And
Mhm.
that's fine with me. But I have homies who just come in, you know. I think I'm honestly, I'm not going to lie. I think I have the antibody. As weird, as bad as that sounds. I think I
You just be
was a
walking around with
victim.
no mask or what? You one of
No,
those guys?
dude, I mask up every day, dog.
Mhm.
Dude, I do it for everybody else. I got to play my part because I feel like, yeah, I'm at some extent that guy who's the asymptomatic carrier, but you never know because I never got tested. Did you get tested? Did you get
No,
tested?
I never got tested, but I did get pneumonia. I don't know if I had it at that point, but fuck, dude. Or can I cuss?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, cool. Because you said what the f earlier, so I was just confused. Anyway, anyways, no, I had pneumonia back in I think yeah at the very beginning of June, up until like the 20th of June, and it just
This
kicked my
year?
ass, dude. Yeah, this year. So I could have had COVID, but it could have been from something else. I don't know.
That's the hardest part about it is, right? I think it's allergies, but you never know, right? You have that in the back of your mind that it could be COVID.
No, that I don't think you can get pneumonia from allergies, dog. But pretty much, and I never got confirmation either because basically I had doctor's visits, but they were through like they were virtual doctor's visits through like something called Teledesk or something.
Oh,
So
that's the
they never
thing
like
now, right?
yeah, they
Yeah.
just asked me what my symptoms were. Then they're like, you probably have pneumonia. And then the second doctor I talked to, he ordered an X-ray, chest X-ray scan for me,
Yeah.
and yeah, they're like, yep, you have pneumonia confirmed. So yeah,
Uh,
it's horrible, but like I'm one of those people that when they get sick, like when I get sick, I'm sick for a couple weeks.
See, that's the
Like
scary part, man. Is that
yeah,
like anybody could get COVID, and if you think about it, like we're all like wanting to go outside and stuff, but at the same time, we should be really appreciating the time that we have inside because you never know when it could be your last day if you really think about it.
Mhm.
And that's why it's just like, dude, getting times like this when we're inside, I'm like so happy. I thank you for being on the show, by the way. This is
Yeah, yeah. Thanks
awesome,
for having me,
man.
Marcus. And I appreciate you.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
No, man, it's good to catch up with you. I mean, have you been holding up pretty well? Because I'm not gonna lie, I just filed my unemployment claim. So
You did?
am I alone? Am I alone here? Because it's every Sunday, right? It's
No,
every
was it?
Sunday.
Well, me, like, thankfully, I'm working for a company that's prepared for this, and I mean, they sent us back home to work from home since March,
No
and
shit.
they actually said that we're not going to go back to the office as early as July of next year. So that's like one whole year out. So like I'm working remote guaranteed for a year. Like, and on top
And
of that, they'll probably extend it out even further because there might not even be a cure by then because of the way the CDC works and having to approve different
I mean, if you think about
vaccines
it,
and
like you
stuff.
can keep your hopes up for a certain amount of time, but when you keep hearing all this news and everybody putting out this information, you're just like, damn, how close is it really?
Yeah. One thing that's been tripping me out too is like they say that we're like in the middle of a recession, but I don't really, when 2008, when that big recession hit, we were still young, so like we don't really know what it felt like. And I guess you're getting hit by it a little bit because of unemployment and stuff. But what happened with your situation?
No, I love that you bring up that point because as in 2008, I honestly don't even remember it.
Yeah, it
Like,
was just like what
it
everything
just
does.
yeah, because honestly, it just felt like I was going to school. There was no like COVID situation, but okay, I majored in economics, and I agree that we are in sort of a what do they call it recession because of the unemployment rate and how much it has dropped after taking 10 years to get it from where it was to where it's at, and then it just completely drops back to the where level it was after 10 years. And by definition, they call a recession is just like in the labor market. The unemployment rate goes up by a certain percentage. That's my definition of it. But you're right. To some degree, I'm feeling it because I'm not getting hours in. I'm trying to be an electrician, and it takes a number of hours to work towards qualification. Once you qualify, you study for the test, and then you take the test, and then you become a journeyman electrician, a licensed electrician. But at the same time, I can't do that because I'm not getting any hours in. So the problem with all of this is like I'm not getting the hours in, so I'm kind of going crazy. So I'm trying to find time, things to do in the meantime. But I mean, for you, it just sounds like it's easier because you get to work from home, and
Yeah.
that's all the difference. I can't work from home. I can't. You put my own lights in. I can't put my own TV in. I mean, I am doing updating on the house or the condo and stuff, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I'm very fortunate to be working from home. I'm fortunate for a company that's has things figured out, and I mean, it's crazy. Like I've definitely have it easy. Like the way COVID has affected me is like my standard of living in terms of like being entertained was from up here and has dropped down to here.
Hmm.
So like I'm easily entertained now,
Mm.
which is good.
That's good
Um,
to be
and
grateful for that, man.
yeah, and I just feel lucky because it's like you hear about all these things, you hear about people who get hit with COVID. I don't really know anyone who has been yet. I also don't really know too many people who have lost jobs and stuff, but I know a few people
Hmm.
and people who have to deal with unemployment and shit like that. So it's a bummer, but like I'm just fortunate to be on the good side of things, and I hope I stay on that side.
Right, the greener side of the grass. No,
Yeah.
that's a good point, man. And I'm not gonna lie, like you said, a lot of people have been hit really hard and have it less fortunate than us. And I can be like you and say that, like, I actually feel lucky that I'm not like at the point where I feel like I'm gonna get evicted or I can't put food on the table for my kids and a family like that. I mean, I feel really bad for those kind of people because they've been hit the hardest too. I mean, they can't go back to work and everything. That sucks. That fucking sucks.
No, you're right, man. I definitely saw like 20 million Americans or
And you
something like
hear
that
about
are,
it in
are
the news every freaking week.
are facing evictions. Like they're no longer protected by evictions. Like what?
Sucks.
But I don't know anyone who's getting evicted. But I know
That's the
it's a
hard
real thing.
thing. Yeah, exactly. How can you relate to somebody when you really haven't kind of heard about it or felt it from somebody else that you know personally or yourself, you know? That's my struggle right there. Is like I have not been in that position where I feel that way, except one person I know, guy I went to a party with like last year. He's a neighborhood friend within my fiance's parents' neighborhood, and he's a really lively guy, but he passed away from COVID after being in the hospital for 2 weeks, and it's just really
Oh,
sad because he
how
had
old
a
is he?
family. I think he was in his 40s and 50s, you know.
That's
It
crazy.
just it's yeah, and the
So you
hardest part
actually
for
know
me,
someone then,
yeah, the
and
hardest part
somebody
for
passed
me,
away.
yeah, the hardest part for me was the effect on the family because he had kind of at least 3 to 4 family members, like siblings, like I mean, son and daughter, and then his wife. And the fact that I know him as like a lively guy and kind of brightens up the room, it's just so sad to feel and see that soul just kind of disappear. It just from COVID, and it's just something that's kind of uncontrollable. And you just happen to catch it. It just is. It's really unfortunate, and that's the only time I've really felt this kind of COVID experience. And like you said, it's nice to be on the luckier side of things, but it's a pretty crazy experience. Am I
Yeah, no,
right?
it's sad as shit, man. And I pray that I don't end up on the side of even experiencing one death of somebody I know. That's bizarre. It's nuts. It's so surreal in a way.
Yeah, because like you said, the last time we faced a recession was in 2008. We didn't even feel anything, but this
Yeah,
time's different. It's
I
so
know.
weird.
I wonder if well, that's the thing. Like, we're going through recession now. We went through recession 2008. We didn't feel it because we were young, but I wonder, like, all the kids who were born in the 2000s, if they're even feeling it right now,
Are they
or
feeling?
the.
Probably not, to be honest. I'm willing to guess that's the same way that we felt because now we're
Well,
actually
no.
old enough to feel it
Well,
and
they have
remember
to
it.
feel it because they got kicked out of school and stuff.
See, you bring up a really
That's the
good
difference, I
point,
guess.
especially if you're a senior too.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, dude, a senior in college, high school, whatever it was, even sports in general, man. And you hear about the MLB trying to get things off, and next thing you know, eight people test positive, and you're like, okay, if MLB season can't go, what about NFL? You know, and then it's
It's not
so
going to
weird.
happen. And I
I don't
think
think it's gonna
NBA
happen, man.
they'll be able to pull it off with NBA just because the way they set everything up.
You think so? Is it sort of a bubble thing? 'Cause I'm not really into that. Tell me
Yeah.
more.
So I don't follow sports too much myself. From what I understand, they have all the teams in Florida, kind of around Disney World area or something. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they're playing at Disney World or whatever. But yeah, they have all the teams there, and I think they're just making sure everyone's quarantined and like everyone's being tested regularly. Um, but until the season's over, they can't really leave. So like everyone's just there. They're going to play out the games. They have 8 season games, and then they're going to go into playoffs and then championship. So it's like a really condensed season, but they have it figured out in a way that they're going to make sure that people don't get COVID. And if they do, I don't know if they'd finish out the season, which is crazy.
Right. Kind of with like MLB, they just postpone it or something like that. Damn. I mean, if you were in that position, like, would you be okay with leaving your family and your friends and being in that bubble in Florida for that long?
I think some people might have their family still there,
That'd be
and
nice.
they might be getting tested for COVID too, of course, because they can't get the players to get sick. But I don't know, man.
But you just hear about that people just like going out, they just don't follow the rules kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, but I don't. Who knows? It's like
How
you
they
see all these
got it,
things in the
right?
news. I stopped paying attention to the news as much. Um,
Good for
I
you,
still
man.
I still read it every once in a while. But I mean, can you still get it from like touching a doorknob of someone who like coughed in their hand? And like if so, how long does that last? And does sun kill it? I don't know, man. I don't want
I
to go
know,
into
does
this huge
sun kill
tangent
it,
about it, but
right?
yeah, I mean that's
You hear
something I
Joe
heard,
Rogan
but
about it, right?
who knows, man.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, who you listen to on like podcasts or YouTube lately?
I mean, podcast wise, I I definitely like to watch Joe Rogan, just like the clips for the most part. I sometimes try to watch like the full videos.
Oh, the
Also been,
highlights. Yeah,
yeah, the
okay.
highlights,
That's what I'm
just
gonna do
short
with
and
our
sweet.
podcast, right? You know, when I'm gonna chop it up a
Yeah,
little bit, right?
yeah. Are you gonna start doing segments and stuff like
Oh
that?
fuck yeah, we're gonna have a highlights kind of tab, you know, with the videos and stuff. I'm
Hmm.
not the technical expert, but my friend AJ, he's like my fiance's little brother. He helps me out, and I'm open arms to anybody who's willing to help because this is just for fun, man. I mean,
As it
that's
should be.
all it
Yeah.
is, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Who cares, man? We can do anything with the fucking video.
How's editing and stuff been going for
Oh,
that?
dude, you know that's half the battle, right?
It
You
takes a
know
long
that's
time.
half the battle because we record hour, 2, 3 hour long conversations, which are great. And that's where I set up the system where like I want to put it on YouTube, the full video, and the podcast, the full audio version. But the bread and butter, man, is getting people to go to those places and chopping things up from these videos that we have, right? Am I
Yeah.
crazy? Or does that
No.
just kind of make sense? And tease people. That's what I want to do is tease people throughout the week. Yo, the next video is dropping on Monday. Catch it on, the podcast or YouTube. And I actually learned today. So, my friend Corey, who's a great guy, great co-host, and we want to start a podcast together. He was on the show earlier, like yesterday, and he was talking to Mike. And I told you about that lost cause file, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he after we paused and ended the video, where I told him, I was like, dude, I think it's the Corey Nelson show. And I was like, he's like, man, sorry, I took over. And then he's like, can you just change the name, from the Marcus Birdie show to the Corey Nelson show, Marcus Birdie show and Corey Nelson show. And so I did, but I realized the thing is that I think we should do is create our own show, like our own YouTube channel, and then have our personal YouTube channels and a podcast. So like the Marcus Birdie show, like this, when Corey isn't there, for example. You know what I'm saying? So I was like low key freaking out about like including people because I really want people to feel involved because like literally this is only half as I feel like this is worth as much as the video as like people give me credit as you should get credit for. You know what I'm saying? It's equal credit. Like I
Yeah,
think
it
that
doesn't
these
hurt.
videos are nothing without the other person, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't hurt to have your own individual podcasts too, because sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes people don't see eye to eye with things. Like I've worked with people before on projects and stuff, and like I don't know, it's either way. Like if you build a foundation yourself and like you find your own enjoyment out of it, you have like less restrictions and less like people in the mix of like saying what you can and can't do or what we should or shouldn't do, things like that.
It's more
But
streamlined. I get what you're saying. You've
yeah,
gone
yeah.
through struggles and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about it too much, just out of
You don't have
respect for the
to, man.
situation.
You don't
Yeah,
have to.
I mean, the person I was working with, we didn't really see eye to eye and stuff, and we kind of had a falling out. But that was like when I was like heavily into doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. I don't really do that anymore. The videos I have uploaded, which I haven't uploaded any in a couple months, are just like home videos, just stuff for me to look back at, or just like my kids to look back at and be like, oh, that's what my dad was like in his 20s.
Yeah, no, dude, I feel you on that, and that's what I
Mhm,
love doing that shit too. But you know what
mhm.
really kind of eats me alive is that like the collaboration is what really gets me going. It's the high that I get from talking to you and stuff like that, and just being able to put it out there. Is that the frustration and the tension that you said that you guys happen to get, and that is toxic, man. And I wish there was a way to avoid that. And like you said, there's a good point, man. It's good to build your own foundation and everything and have your own YouTube channel. But at the same time, I wish there's a way you could just avoid getting to that point where like you guys are bickering and fighting over whatever it is. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like moving in with your best friend or like your significant other. Like inevitably, it's going to happen at some point. Whether it's something that's horrible and you guys can't bounce back from it, or it's something that's small and petty. But either way, like tension builds up. It's just a natural thing.
And
So
can you bounce back from it? That's a
yeah,
good
and
point.
can you bounce back from it? Like is it that serious? Is it like if money, let's say hypothetically, like the podcast blew up or like whatever you're working on blows up, like how do you distribute the money? Like how do you look into marketing, this and that? I mean, that's why you
Who
have like
takes credit
complete
for what?
freedom.
Which percentage? Yeah, that's why it gets to me. That's why I'm like, I'm trying my hardest to just stay focused on doing this for fun because it's so fun to me. But I have a feeling that the second, if that would ever happen, it would complicate things. And I just like wish that I could just ignore it and just focus on doing what makes me happy and is having these conversations with good people like you. You know what I'm saying? And get to know people
Yeah,
like you.
that's what you got to do, man. You got to prioritize having fun and just keep it fun while you can. And then that doesn't mean you can't always collaborate with the person that you were just talking about either. Like you can do that at any point, really.
You're right. You're right. Definitely. That's something I would be open to doing with you.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta keep in mind too. Like you guys are both starting out something new. Maybe it's similar to me. Like when I tried it out, like it wasn't for me. At least the format that I was doing it
I kind of
with.
want to
So
explore that because I've been looking at your Instagram, man. I mean, the first thing I see is you're Filipino Caucasian, which is the same thing I am. And I
yeah, I
have a
didn't
question
even know
about that.
that.
I have a question about that. Which one of your parents is Filipino?
My mom is Filipino.
Ditto. And is
Yeah,
she like how are her grandparents?
I don't really know.
Oh,
Like
you don't?
I
Okay.
didn't like
That's
I have a relationship with my mom. I didn't grow up with her. Like I grew up with my dad,
oh, I
but
feel it.
and I'm
I feel it.
whitewashed as hell. So there's that too.
No, that's all good. I was just curious because my mom, she's comes from a full Filipino grandpa, or I mean, excuse me, dad, and then a half Filipino, half Hispanic mom. So she's like 3/4 Filipino, a quarter Hispanic, which makes me like almost a half
Uh-huh.
Filipino, but mostly
Pretty much same thing.
Caucasian. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. I feel it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice, right? Do you ever get together with your Filipino family at all? Are you lucky enough?
It's a very small family. I mean, I pretty much on my Filipino side in terms of who I hang out with. It's like my mom, my half sister, and my half brother.
You have a half
Um,
sister and half brother too?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So my half sister and half brother are about 30 to 40, I think. And they each have their own
Holy
kid,
shit.
18, 19. So I've been an uncle for like
Damn. So you're by far the youngest then, huh?
yeah. So I basically grew up as an only child. I don't know about you, but that's how I felt.
No, I have a full brother too. I don't really talk to him though,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I grew up with him for a while too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So your childhood was a little bit different than mine, would you say?
Yeah, I had a very unique childhood. Definitely worked through a lot of adversity, stuff like that. But
Isn't adversity good? That's the thing that I like to explore is adversity because I feel like at some point it kind of makes you a better person, but at the same time it's really freaking hard to get through. And whenever I look back on it, I think about how the support system really helped me get through it. Have you ever kind of felt that way?
yeah, I mean, support definitely helps. It's just really, it's one of those things where you kind of take a gamble. Like you could take a kid to like a kid like me to, which is just pretty much what I experienced too, a high school which is full of diverse people, but it's considered ghetto. Like it can make you or break you really. It really can. Because I mean, I feel like a lot of people are a product of their environment, and I would say I am too. I just happen to luck out. Like I happen to feel the influence to want to go to college, and that helped me get out of my hometown, which helped me realize that there's way more out there. So I mean, it really just depends, man. You can kind of get lucky with things. You can kind of get influence into things, but at the end of the day, like we're all where we're supposed to be, and I don't know. It's just I feel really lucky to have come out the way that I have. Like I'm not like super successful. I don't have like my own house. I don't have like crazy cars or this or that. Like I have nice clothes and shoes and stuff because that's what I like. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel lucky. Like I easily could have stayed here and then done nothing with my life like that I enjoy.
So do you have a good feeling about where you're going in life and where you see yourself in the next couple of years?
It's hard to say. I know I'm going to be successful. Like I've had that in the back of my mind, which is it's good because like I like being my own like hype man in a way. But basically, like out of college, I was like really set on working for Nike, and I couldn't find work for 6 months. And then I was like, fuck it, I just need to get a job. So I got a job in Beaverton doing inbound phone sales with Comcast for like 6 months. And then I finally got a job at Nike. And I was just like so dedicated to working for Nike. I worked several jobs there and it just didn't work out. And I was there for like 3 years, about 3 years total. So maybe a little over 3 years. So eventually, like I left. So it's like from like high school up, because in high school I knew I wanted to work at Nike, which made me go to college. From high school up 20, let's say 2012 to 2019, I was dedicated to working at Nike, and then it didn't work out. So now I'm working at Indeed, and now I have to figure out what I want to do in life all over again. Like from being laser focused on wanting this one job at Nike to just now I have to figure it out again, and I'm cool with it. And it's been a good year for COVID to hit for me, just solely based on the fact that like I'm starting fresh, and this is kind of like a restart year
I
where I
really
don't have to like
respect that,
take things
man.
that serious.
I seriously really respect that. Good for you, fucker. I mean, and not fucker. I mean, like I'm so happy for you. That's what I mean. Like
Good.
I'm just so happy to see that that's how you feel and that's where your perspective is on life. And to me, I have a good feeling about you, man. I have a really good feeling just based off what you just said, man. And I'm curious now,
I
like,
appreciate that, Marcus.
why did you have that goal to work at Nike? Was it your parents or was it just you? Because I want to know the difference.
Yeah, I mean, to give you like the quickest recap of the story, and it's like a story that I've told so many people when I was networking at Nike, because that's something I did very heavily.
Mm.
So basically, in 2008, when I was in seventh grade, I saw a guy wearing a pair of shoes at the gym, and it was a pair of Air Jordan 8 Aquas. I didn't know about shoes at the time, but eventually, like, I walked up to the guy and I like asked him about the shoes, and then that grew from like me wanting to know about like the different models to the different colorways to the different technology to me wanting to work at Nike. So from 2008 to 2012, like my passion and obsession for sneakers grew, whether it was like buy, selling, trading, things like that, and eventually that made me want to commit to working at Nike. And then 2014, I got a retail job there. And then after college, I obviously got like a reception job. I worked at like a state of the art gym dedicated to Coach Krzyzewski that works at he's like the head coach for Duke University for their basketball team. And then I like worked in this one department called marketplace operations as a specialist, and I did like supply chain stuff. So like I did a lot of heavy networking there. Like thankfully I was able to get those three jobs within the first couple of years and stuff. But really like my desire to work for Nike was like I wanted to be a footwear developer, so I wanted to be the person who would work with the designers and the product line managers to bring a product to life. Like the designer has an idea, and I would just say based on the parameters of what we have and the cost parameters and like the technology we have, we can or can't make it happen. So that's what I wanted to do. It was really just my way of wanting to pay it forward because I was a kid in like this like kind of a ghetto. Some people consider it ghetto. I don't because I grew up in it. Ghetto environment, and I wanted to pay it forward because I felt so inspired by those shoes at the gym that day that I wanted to be able to help create shoes. And even if it was 30,000 pairs, 50,000 pairs, 100,000 pairs of those shoes that came out, if it inspired one kid to do something that inspired me to do, whether it was like go do something bigger, then that's all I wanted.
The whole why behind the shoe, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, they inspired that, they created that because of this, and if I can have one other person kind of realize that, it's like an artist, man.
Mhm. It's. I mean, the best way to summarize that is just like I was inspired by a shoe. Because of that, it made me want to do bigger things. It made me want to pay it forward, and
That's the best way of putting it.
voila.
Pay it forward, because it's better than it's honestly. It sounds better than giving back, because you are paying it forward because you were so lucky enough to be fortunate to have such a good experience and see that and then want to pay it forward. I feel like, dude, oh my gosh, you don't talk to a lot of people who are like grateful and kind of want to pay it forward kind of people. I mean, that's real. That's really awesome, man.
Well,
Like
it's
we
not
just
every
went
day
from
that.
like knowing you to like, dude, this guy's my friend.
Oh, no, Marcus. I mean, we've always been homies. You know, like we've been kicking it since I think sophomore, junior year, or something like that. So he just randomly popped up at the house one day, and we were cool with Leo and all that stuff. So,
I
but
know,
yeah, man,
right?
we've always been homies. And yeah, just pay it forward, bro. That's
How are
all it is.
you're damn right. How are your homies doing this lately? And don't get me wrong, I have a handful, if not. I just asked my girlfriend to marry me, so we're engaged. So she's my fiance and my five's groomsmen. That's all I have as best friends. So I'm just setting the bar for you. How are your friends doing, man?
Well, first off, congrats on proposing and she saying yes. I mean, that's,
Oh, thanks, bro. It's been 10 years since we've been dating, by the way.
dude, I didn't even know you had a girlfriend this whole time, honestly. You never brought her around. It was just you and the two other
Right?
guys.
It's just me and Charlie and
Yeah, shout out
yeah.
Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Um, wait, what was your question again?
How are your friends doing? Like your people you're close with and everything. Who?
I mean, I try to stay close with a majority of my friends, but it's tougher, you know. It's like we all become adults. People start to spread out. People start to become more settled, and then on top of that, you have COVID in the mix. So you put all that together. It's like I've seen less of my friends than ever, but at the same time, most of the friends that I have, it's one of those things where it's like I might not see you for a year or two, but as soon as I do, it's like we never, stop seeing each
We
other as
pick
friends.
back up again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
kind of
pick it right
thing.
back up. But the people you knew back in college, I mean, um, I would say everyone's doing pretty well, and everyone's still trying to figure stuff out. It's as even though we're 4 years out of college, everyone's still early in their careers in terms of like where they're starting up. And I feel like I'm still early in my career, but
I like how you
just
see it
because I
that
had to do
way.
the career switch up.
No,
What
I
was that?
feel it. Man. I no, I said I like how you see it that way. No, I feel it because,
Mhm.
I was kind of curious. I thought you were still kind of hanging out with the same guys that I knew from college because I thought you guys were kind of high school homies. I could be wrong
Oh, yeah,
there.
we
Oh,
were
okay, okay, okay.
spot on.
Like you said though, people grow up as adults and they kind of do their own thing, and I was just kind of curious, how everything's going. And as far as I know, Charlie, Krishan, they're still alive, and
Charlie's alive. I was talking to him
oh
the
no
other day.
shit.
Yeah, like right after I commented on your video, for some reason he messaged me about something.
Dude, man, that'd be so fun to get him on a three-way podcast sometime.
Yeah, I think I talked to him about that too. He said he wasn't really like into podcasts and stuff like that. It's not really his thing, but you can always
Oh,
ask
yeah,
him.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he was your like real. He's like one of your homies for sure. And so is Krayshawn. I don't know what that dude's up to. I don't think he's has social media or
Sri
anything like that.
Lanka, right? So, you know, different time zone and everything. The only time I ever talk to him is through WhatsApp, and it's like I'm going to bed and he's waking up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, yeah. I mean, I hope everybody's doing well. I was just kind of curious about that.
yeah. No,
So,
it doesn't hurt to check in.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, like lately, the people I've been hanging out with is my family. Do you feel the same way, or have you been experiencing the same thing, or what?
Yeah. So I moved to Arizona back in January,
This year?
and yeah,
No
yeah,
shit. Oh wow.
yeah. I moved to Arizona, and I was there from January until like 2-3 weeks ago, and then I came back to Oregon. Now I'm in Oregon now, and I'm about to go back to Arizona in like 3 weeks. So this is like the first time I've actually got to hang out with my family since I moved.
So it's like a
Just because,
vacation kind of thing?
yeah, it's definitely like a vacation. I
Oh,
took the whole week
nice.
off. I'm going back to work tomorrow.
Dude, what a relief, right? Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Good for
Yeah,
you,
thankfully
man.
not trying to flex or anything, but thankfully the company I work for right now they offer unlimited PTO, so that's been very nice. Like I went from being contracted at Nike, getting no PTO, no benefits or anything like that, to like taking like 30 paid time off days this year.
Wow, so it could always be worse then.
It could definitely always be worse, but it's
Damn,
if
man.
if anything, I'm like, wow, man, they spoiled the hell out of us. It's crazy.
Awesome, man. So you're happy right now?
Yeah, no, I'm happy, and like it's a company that I can see myself building on. But
It's kind of
but
progressing through?
yeah, yeah, I just gotta figure out what's next, really. Like, I just hope that I'm able to find something that's more aligned with what I like. But if I stayed with that company, like, I'd be happy as shit too.
Well, let's talk about more about what you like. So, I mean, obviously you're good with working. I want to talk about what you like to do when you're not working.
Man, I mean, like, COVID wise, I don't know. A lot of video games. I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends, which is like a battle royale game.
Oh, I'm up to
Been
that, dude.
you're into that stuff? You play video games too?
Oh, dude, I'm on the now. I was on the Xbox, but I'm transitioning to the PC just so I can stream everything and kind of thing.
Yeah, technically you can still stream on the
You
Xbox, but I
can,
got
but
Xbox too.
what sucks though is that you can't have your little image right down on the bottom of the corner unless you know how to do it. Am I wrong?
I think you need a Connect or something,
Do I
which
gotta
is not worth it.
connect?
Then you can do it. You can do it.
Oh shit! Is that
You
how you
gotta
do
you
it?
gotta pull it up on YouTube.
Is that how you do it?
That's how I tried it. Like again, it was something I like tried. That wasn't something I was consistent with. It was just like, oh, I wonder what it looks like to put me in the top right hand corner. This and that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a
pull it up
good
on
thing.
YouTube, man. Well, like I say, like when in doubt,
YouTube
just pull it up on
University,
YouTube,
bruh.
YouTube or Google. You got almost answers to anything you want to learn online. That's the truth.
You goddamn right.
Hmm.
Fuck, dude.
So,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look into that.
video games. Um, been riding like my electric skateboard around here and there.
You have an electric skateboard, dog? I'm fiending for an electric bike, dude.
Electric bike.
Yeah, I want to go fast as fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in Arizona that ride gas powered bikes. It's pretty weird.
Gas power? What?
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah. You
that's
see some weird ass
that's
stuff
kind
over
of
there.
weird because Arizona. I mean, they have the sun, which is pretty consistent with the energy that I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
What did
I don't know what else I do.
you been riding your
Uh,
skateboard, lady? Playing video games? What else you been doing?
I like my shoes. Most people that I know, like that know me, know I love my shoes and stuff. So
So
I've definitely been like,
StockX, is that what it's called, or
yeah. I mean, that's one of the platforms you can buy and sell on. But
where did it
I've been like
start for
buying,
you when it comes to the buying and selling and the researching? Was it just Nike.com or what?
like where to look for all that stuff.
Yeah, when did you have the time to do that?
I mean, you're talking about as early as seventh grade.
2008, yeah, or
Yeah,
seventh grade.
yeah.
Ooh, no kidding.
Where I just learned how to hobby, and it was from me like seeing things I like, and then later on finding out that you can make money from it, and then seeing how footwear and streetwear are synonymous and tie into each other, which also leads in like accessories and collectibles. So like over time, it started with just shoes, and then maybe like clothes, and maybe like Supreme and this and that, and then you just kind of get an idea and a feel for what's worth money, and then you just try to buy it and sell it later. So I mean, I have like some stuff um, in storage right now that's worth money, and I'm planning on definitely making
God,
some
dude,
money off of it.
you
So
know how many kids would look up to you right now and would
there's a lot
like,
of people doing it.
dude, I'm telling you, there's kids who are 14 and 15, 16 years old who are interested and passionate about the same thing you were at like seventh grade. And the fact that you have that experience and could share knowledge and oh my gosh, dude, there's so many people who want to be like you, dude. There's so many people who want to be like you. They need to see you, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
don't make that
crazy.
much money. Like I'm not heavy into it.
But it's
Some
a
people
side
buy like,
hustle, isn't it?
yeah, it's just a side hustle, make some extra money.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what it's all about. Make some extra
Yeah.
money, dope. That's
Yeah, it's
nice.
crazy what you can do with shoes. Like for instance, there was this one shoe that I knew there was a limited amount of numbers for. So I bought two of them at like 1,100 bucks each, and now they're both worth like 3,000 each. So it's like you
Woo!
can make
That's
a
a
lot of
flip
money
and
off
a
them.
half, dude. Is you
Yeah,
use
they just
StockX for that, or what was that?
Yeah, StockX is easily one of the best platforms to tell
Yeah,
you
you
like
think so?
prices and stuff like that because it'll tell you historically what it sold for and then what it's selling for current day and if there's like market trends and stuff like that. So,
And that's
and I,
like legit stuff. You're not just like thinking that's what it is. It's just legit.
it's all legit because
Yeah.
all of their data, well, most of their data is based on sales and sales directly from their website.
That's what it comes down to is the data they're using. Yeah, that's what I was getting. Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay. And a lot of people are fucking using that shit. It's like almost like Amazon, right?
yeah. StockX is a very, very popular platform. I mean, it has a bad rep here and there, but for the most part, like people have made a lot of money on it. I've made a lot of money off of it. So
Have you ever had a bad experience with it?
I personally haven't, but I mean, I've definitely see like things where uh, I don't know how they do sourcing for hiring and stuff like that. But like, if you're not really tied into shoes and like understand how shoes work and like what's real and what's fake, you could probably let a few fakes pass through, and that's what's happened before. So like,
Mm,
imagine buying a shoe for like 1,000 bucks or 1,500 bucks, having it get authenticated by someone who doesn't have enough knowledge of the sneaker or the product that they're buying, and or authenticating and then passing it as authentic and then shipping it to the consumer, which at that point the consumer's pissed off because they're like, yo, this is
this isn't
fake. I just
fake.
spent 1,500 bucks. I want a refund. And sometimes they don't get refunds. So it's crazy.
That's where the problems come in. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I was just curious because that's been a huge topic. last thing I heard was Michael Jordan shoes that were signed and that they were used in the game sold for just a crazy amount. Were you into that?
I mean, I think I had heard about it.
The MJs? Are you into the MJ
Yeah,
sneakers?
yeah. I mean, that's definitely what got me into it was a pair of Jordans, and I still got Jordans to this day. Not as into it like I was, but I definitely have, you know, a few in the collection.
So you're definitely not into it as you were back in the day. So that means that you still have time on your hands. Well, what takes
Yeah,
up your time?
shit. I feel like I got nothing but time. Like I, I'm telling you, for the most part, I like work my 8 to 5 um, shift and then get off and then play video games or go look at shoes. Like I have a lot of freedom. Like thankfully I don't have to work like 2 or 3 jobs just to stay above water. Unfortunately, like Arizona is a cheap cost of living place, so that's helped a lot too. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Are you gaming with any friends or just gaming solo?
I play video games with like random people
Yeah.
for the most part, but like they're consistent people. Like we know each other by first name and shit like that. But I've
Oh
never
no
met them in
shit.
person. Yeah, I've added them on Facebook and that's about it.
Dude, you say
But
you add him on Facebook? That's hilarious. I was playing World of Warcraft. and
that's all right.
and
No
and
shame.
I was just grinding with these guys, and they lived in they're from Illinois, but what's so funny is they're like, I was like, dude, you guys sound like you could be on the podcast. And they're like, dude, sign us up. And it's just amazing the kind of friends that you kind of make on online games like this. It's actually a legit thing. And I feel like, given COVID times, it's only going to make it more of a legit thing, just like telemedicine, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I think a lot of things are going to shift to online. Like it's crazy to see how many jobs have adapted to being remote. I mean, if you think about how many companies are going to keep that into consideration, it's like why would they, if they can have all these remote employees, why would they rent this huge office for overhead? I mean, that's a big expense they could cut right there.
Do you
I
miss
mean,
going back into the office?
I do just because like I moved to Arizona with intentions to not only like step out of my comfort zone big time, but like I wanted to meet new people. And it's hard to like meet new people or want to link up with people from the office and stuff because you don't know how clean some people are and like or if someone has COVID, even if they are super clean. Like it's just one of those things where we're just trying to play it safe. So I don't know when I'll like get used to that and I think it'll be very difficult even when there is a vaccine, whether it be late next year or the year after that for people to adjust back to how things were. Like I just can't see it happening like that.
I mean, if you feel that way, I mean, you're not alone, in my opinion. And honestly, I feel like I'm like the young and reckless kid, and the people that they, uh, just totally talk about in the media. Kids just don't care, But I'm the only kid who wears a mask, so I'm not like exposing other people to the virus or anything.
Yeah, man.
But
All those guys, all those people that are getting sick, they're going to party at Florida and stuff like that on the beach.
dude, it's crazy to me. I'm like, I'm not putting myself in those situations, man. Yeah, like even when COVID started, we were working for 2 weeks in the construction site, and we're yeah, kind of sharing tools, but we wear gloves and stuff. But 2 weeks freaking later, of course, more viruses. They shut down the construction site. Next thing you know, we're here claiming
Yeah,
unemployment, not working for months, and man, yeah, there's different walks of life. I mean, like you said, there's me, there's you, and there's some people who are even worse, which sucks.
yeah.
Which
People are
freaking
fucking
sucks.
miserable, have no more income, are getting evicted, like have to move to the streets. Yeah, I'm very fortunate not to be on that end.
Let me ask you this. This is a random question. Did you vote in the last election?
I didn't, man. I'm part of the problem.
I didn't
I
either.
really am. It's
That makes
and,
like four of us that I've asked.
and it sucks too because it's like and I'm gonna try to vote this time. I'm not gonna say who, just to
Yeah,
avoid the whole politics
I'm gonna try to
conversation.
vote
But
too.
but all I know is like every time there's a presidential election, it seems like it's a lose lose.
Yes.
It feels that way.
Thank
Like
you.
just people are like manipulate. Like it's so obvious that these people are manipulative in some way, and each one of them has dirt on them almost every single time, and you just don't know who to trust. And it's like, I don't know if people just eat up what most like candidates say and stuff like that, and they just take their word for it. But I mean, you got to keep in mind they're just like being their best PR selves because that's what you're supposed to do as a president. That's what you're supposed to do.
It's so hard because I mean, the last election I voted in was when Barack Obama was president, and that's who I voted for.
Mm,
And I didn't vote in the last one with Hillary and Trump because, like you said, it felt like a lose-lose situation. And I was holding myself to the point where, like, if I vote for either one of them, I'm gonna feel bad for it. So I chose not to vote, and I felt better for it. But at the same time, I think in this state that we're in right now, my vote probably counts more than ever because of how crazy times and everything you see and hear, and you're just like, you're in the midst of it. And obviously we're young, and so we kind of have that ability to live long enough to ride out the wave of kind of volatility where we're in good times and then we're super bad times. You know what I'm saying? But
mm.
like for some other people, it's really unfortunate because they're not in that situation. And I just kind of feel like this is the time where my vote actually matters because we're in such a dire situation with the COVID, with the equality thing and everything that's going on. It's just I want to be part of the change that maybe actually sets a step forward into the right direction
Mm.
instead of just kind of sitting at the sidelines and not really helping. Because that's how I've been doing with the protests and everything. Because I've never been a racist guy. I've never been raised racist, born racist. But at the same time, it feels like a lot of people are being super sensitive right now. And to me, racism doesn't exist in my head, but in my environment, it actually does exist. And I think that the hardest part for me is becoming aware of that and being able to recognize that, like, look, shit is going down. And now that like it ties all into my vote, it's like maybe with my vote, we can maybe take a step in the right direction. I don't know. How do you feel about the whole situation?
I feel like it's. I feel like it's. I don't know, man. It's just hard to say. Like, I feel like there's a lot of profiling going on right now, and I don't think like racism should be fought with racism, which is something that I've seen on social media. Unfortunately, I don't think people should hate on white people as an entire race because of it. I don't. It's just really difficult to say. Like, I understand that there's some problems that need to be addressed, especially with like police brutality and stuff like that. But I also feel like people, I don't know, I just like to tie it back into, judge someone by the
The
contents of their
character.
character. Yeah,
Yes,
but
absolutely, man.
but it's very easy to profile. It's a natural thing, whether it be subconscious or conscious. Like, I
It's
just wish it
too
were that
easy.
simple, but the reality is, like, systematically some things need to be fixed. So there are some exceptions where profiling might be acceptable in some way, but in other ways, like, I don't know, like, it's like not every homeless person is a drug addict, but everyone's gonna assume, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like, or like, I don't know, like, maybe some guy from this race fits this stereotype, but that doesn't mean all these other people do.
That's why you judge
Or
them by your character. That's how I go into the situation. It's like I think everybody's a good person until, I meet them and get to know their character. And if you can tell if somebody is not a good character or not. And that's just the difference between a positive person or a negative person. And the goal is to surround yourself with positive people. But it's
yeah,
just like, it just sucks because I feel like we're not victims of it, but we are because it's kind of out of our control. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not a part of this cause or the reason why things are bad, which is why it's so hard to relate to other people. But at the same time, it's like, this should not be happening. Deep down in your heart, this doesn't feel right.
yeah, and we're
And
not on the receiving end. Like, we don't
yeah,
experience what the profiling that black people do by police and stuff like that. I don't know. It's very hard to say. Like, I don't have like a solid stance on it just because
So
I'm on the same side
uneducated.
you
I
are.
feel that. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, I'm just sitting out right now, man. Like, this ain't my thing. I can't do anything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like I support it. Like I support equality 100%, but I feel
Same.
like this, in some ways, for some people, the way some people are perceiving the situation, this support for equality is leading into like high tensions towards certain groups and certain
The
demographics, and it's
profiling
just
thing. Yeah.
exactly it's making people profile more, and consequently, it's going to make people more paranoid. And I don't blame the cops right now, but they're scared as shit. Like some of them are scared
Sad.
as fuck, like that they're going to get shot up, just for being a cop.
Can you
Um,
imagine that?
just like black people feeling
Do
like
the
they're
same
going to get
thing.
shot by
Yeah.
cops. Yeah, yeah. So
Exactly.
it's like now there's just like crazy tension, and like I don't know. These people are supposed to protect us, but it's hard to want to protect,
When you
or
feel
it's
like you're
hard
gonna
to
go die.
when you feel like you're gonna go die and you feel like everyone hates you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just see the sides of everyone. I try to, at least. I try to be unbiased, but I mean, of course, at the end of the day, I have my own opinions.
You know, that's the funny thing because everybody asks me like, "Oh, what are you, Democrat or Republican?" I always say bipartisan because I'm just open-minded like that. You
Mhm.
know, everybody has good ideas from one side or the other. You
It's
know,
true.
and
It's
it's
true.
why should my idea be better than yours? Why don't we enact them all? Let's
It's
fucking
just
figure it
like
out. Are you?
going back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Marcus. I was gonna say it's just like what we kind of talked about earlier. Like
The way you
I don't
come
know.
back from it.
No, no. I was gonna say the way some people on Fox News will like get proved wrong, or CNN, vice versa, both sides, and then they'll just, no matter what, even if there's hard evidence, they'll like hold their ground because they're so stubborn. And like I feel like that's what politics is. It's like if I'm Republican, I'm gonna represent everything that's Republican, and I'm not gonna side with the opposite side if it opposes to what we have to say, even if there's hard evidence that they're right. And it's just so annoying. It's like two people talking to walls. It's like
Hmm.
I'm a Republican, I'm talking to a wall. I'm a Democrat, I'm talking to a wall. And
Have you
that's
heard
why I don't like to get involved into
politics?
politics.
Yeah, neither do I, man. That's why I say I'm bipartisan, man. It's just to me, it's redundant. We could go back and forth all day long, but guess what? I don't feel like doing that. I want to talk about something else. But just to be on, just to explore the idea of politics, I'm just curious. Is like kind of lost my train of thought. But the whole point was this is like Democrat or Republican, it comes down to just doing the right thing for everybody. And like you said, it sucks that people have to like play this role that they have to defend this certain side. But that's why here's my point. That's why I feel like my vote actually counts, and that's why it's important. It's just like because I feel like I'm making an impact on how which direction the whole United States is heading when it comes to these issues that are at hand.
Mhm.
And does this person prioritize, does this person think of it more important than this person? I hope so. That's who I'm voting for. Is like a person who's really focused more on what the actual problems are instead of like, you know, the political side of it, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
anyways,
You got to keep in mind, like any news source you watch, it's biased and it's framed in a certain way to make somebody look really good or really bad every single time. So it's like the more you see like all these bad frame stories or good frame stories, your bias is gonna subconsciously like side with one of those sides. And I don't know.
I mean,
It's
naturally
like
that
who knows
happens.
what's true? Who
Yeah,
knows what's true?
exactly. Who knows what's true? And yeah, it could be hearsay. And what's cool about the podcast we're recording is that like it's almost like freedom of speech. Like we're just going off of what we experience and how we feel. We're really not trying to pin anything or any something in a certain way to make it more advantageous for us. I
Mhm.
mean, we're just literally having a conversation, and it's just that's it. That's it. It is
Yeah,
fun.
I think in the last couple conversations we've had, I don't have a solid stance on anything
I know, neither
for
do I. Yeah.
for the most part.
And I don't have the confidence to have a solid stance on anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't done enough research or whatever, and
Exactly. And I'm not even into that stuff. So
yeah,
whatever floats your
we,
boat, man.
yeah, we don't have to talk about politics no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's the end of it. Whatever floats your boat, guys, when it comes to
Yes, sir.
politics. So man, sounds like you're good. You're passionate about the things that you're passionate about, like shoes, but you didn't talk much about clothing. Tell me more about that. You said you like to look fashionable. I see your Instagram posts and stuff, you know. But like,
Yeah.
are you doing the pictures? Is this all
No,
yourself? I'm
so I
curious.
mean, I've taken photos and stuff of people, and I've like worked a camera, a DSLR. I have like a little handy cam and stuff for home
Because I know
videos.
you've been good at that. That's always been your thing. Is remember from what I remember, you always had like a GoPro. You were into the video thing, man.
Yeah, I really was, and it's something I hope to pick up again. But right now, I just for some reason I just haven't really felt motivated and stuff. But I've recorded a few things, and then yesterday I was at my friend's birthday and took some photos for him. So like I want to be able to continue to do that because I really believe in documenting. Again,
Yes.
it all ties into what I said earlier. It's like I want my kids to be able to see that this is what I was when I was like 20 something, and then their kids to be able to see it because
There's no
hopefully YouTube's
shame
around
in
for.
that, man. And there's no shame
Yeah.
in documenting that. I'm curious though, like, hmm, I'm trying to explain it in a way. So you said that like you want to get back into recording videos and stuff, and to me, it just sounds like, is there anything I do to help with that? I want to be a part of that. Like, do you have any ideas? Like,
I
open
don't know.
open
Like
door right here.
one thing I did try to do at one point was I recorded like a gameplay video and I edited it and I like told people on Instagram I was going to upload it and stuff like that. But every time I would try to upload it, it was very pixelated and stuff. So like basically what I'm trying to say is at a certain point I was like committed to trying to make video games with like my reactions and shit on it.
Yes, that's the
Just to
best
kind of
part,
yeah, just to try to get like a channel up and running.
right? But do you think you went into technical difficulties? Was that it?
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the internet speed or something, but I tried like 5 times to upload the same video and I was just getting pissed off because I know for a fact I didn't just spend like 8 hours editing this one video that's like 10 minutes long just for it to me to upload it and change the codec settings multiple times just to have it come out pixelated. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
No.
like it wasn't even worth watching at that point. It was
Oh,
a good
that's
video
the
though.
hardest part, though. That's the hardest freaking part about this whole thing is the technical difficulties. And I mean, I'm grateful enough to have a guy like AJ who's 16 and is into this stuff, but at the same time, like we need to share this knowledge and stuff. Like I want to get this set up for everybody because yeah, I might have this set up right now, but I don't. I think we could always do better. Like I'm always thinking about how the audio experience can be better because think about Joe Rogan, think about Gary Vee, think about all these guys who just kind of have mastered it. And I'm like, damn, eventually I'll get like that one day. But I did get to the point where I was like so obsessed about getting to that point in one day and overnight that it was toxic. But I've learned to kind of be content with just keep trying one step at a time and kind of
Yeah,
have no
roll with the
timeline to
punches.
it. Yeah, exactly. Roll with the
It's
punches kind of thing.
it's not going to be perfect. I will say like
Damn
you
right.
already you already did the biggest step, which is like you started and you actually had something uploaded. There's a lot of people who talk about it, and then there's a lot of people who have like such a high standard and they want it to be looking just like Joe Rogan's or just like the H3 podcast or just like Gary Vaynerchuk. But the reality is like those people had to work through technical difficulties too. I'm sure they have had episodes and stuff that didn't get saved or like a mic was off or this or that. But they still uploaded videos no matter what. And like they didn't have the best like setup or setting or anything like that. But the fact that they did it and the fact that they learned from it and the fact that they built off of the foundation that they had and continuously improved is what got them to where they're at today.
God,
Period.
man, this is gonna be that 30-second clip I'm gonna put in on Instagram, man. That was fire, and that's the
Do you think?
truth, man. That's the actual truth, and it comes back to consistency. That's what I think about when you said that. Is that if you could just kind of keep showing up to practice, keep kind of taking that swing, and keep throwing that ball. Like eventually, if you're passionate about it and want to keep going, you will figure it out. It just takes a lot of time,
Yeah,
and
exactly. I mean, you're gonna learn stuff along the way, but you got to be realistic, and you can't have this mindset where you're like, I have to have it all figured out at once
Yeah,
because
and yeah,
it's
within a
impossible.
week. Yeah, it totally. It's not. Oh my gosh, and that's something that Gary V. I remember him saying. He's like, "Go look at my post on a video, 5, 10 years back. How many views did I get? That's right, because it sucked, compared to what it is right now." And that's the truth,
Mhm.
man. That's the freaking truth. Is that if you just keep doing it and you're having fun doing it, like we are, eventually something happens. And that's why I encourage you to bring up the video thing again. And if you want to spit out ideas and do this off the podcast kind of thing, dude, you're making my heart beat right now, man. I need anything to keep me alive while I'm just doing nothing, because any content that we can create just to be funny or just put a smile on somebody's face, I'm down. Just for fun, I'm down, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta figure it out, man. Like I haven't really put too much thought into it lately, and I will say though, like the biggest thing you can do is, in terms of your channel is like keep it consistent. Like I haven't been the best example of that myself,
But that's a
but
good
like
point. Keep it consistent.
yeah, because I'm just saying, like based on historically what I've seen for successful channels is they kept it consistent. Like have a good thumbnail if you don't know how to make those already.
Oh,
Let
I'm
me
gonna need
know.
your help.
Make sure you have like titles that are more than someone's name because no one's gonna type in Joey Thorne. Like cover some of the
um,
topics and stuff, and make sure you put your tags and all that stuff. You want to make sure you get engagement and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I have a few things here and there like ideas, but biggest thing is consistency for sure.
for sure. And by the way, those ideas I'm gonna explore with you off the podcast. By the way,
Yeah,
but it's been 1 hour and 3 minutes, man. I've had a really good conversation with you. Can we do this
that
again
flew by.
sometime?
Yeah, we can definitely do this again, Marcus, for sure.
Fuck yes, dude. Well, thanks for being on the show, man. Seriously, I appreciate you. And we'll definitely follow up with you because I definitely want to explore all those ideas that we had or that you had. And oof, gets me excited.
Yes, sir, Marcus. I got you, bro. Thank you for having me on too. I appreciate you, and I hope that you keep it consistent. But if you didn't, at the end of the day, you tried, and I guess from there you'll know if you like it or not. But you actually did something, and you have something uploaded on YouTube right now, and you'll have this one uploaded on YouTube too, and you'll be able to look back at it, and you'll be able to show your kids, and don't even think about cringing or anything like that because it's cool as fuck that you even tried in the first place.
I respect you, man.
Likewise, bro.
I'll see you next time, homie.
All right, catch you, Marcus. Have a good one.
Later.